Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we can hear you.
Good afternoon, class.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, thank you.
So everyone is here?
Hello.
I'll look at your email. I'm going there.
Hello.
Yeah, who's this?
This is Nora.
Okay, hi Nora.
Oh, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Precious.
Good afternoon.
Shall I start with the class?
Yes, you can.
Yes, Shifra, you can.
Okay then.
Yeah, you can.
Wait a minute. Yeah, everyone, I would like to start the class right now. So last time we were on the literature review.
Yes, we were. We ended that literature review.
We have not ended, Raymond. We have literature review, and after that we were not able to commence with the further studies, further class. Okay. So first of all, I think we are not in class from Friday, right?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes, yes.
Yeah. So have a quick look towards the literature review. Can anybody just summarize the points here about the literature review? Anyone? Precious, where are you?
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, will you summarize literature review?
Okay. Before we summarize, I just have a question, a quick question.
Okay, who is this? This is Nora?
Nora.
Yeah, Nora, tell me.
The class that we're having right now, it's for which course?
This is for community-based participatory research, participatory action research.
Oh, okay, the project. All right then. Okay.
This is the project, okay?
Okay, and then okay. All right, thanks.
Yeah, anything else you want to ask?
No, I just wanted to find out what class we're having right now.
Actually, listen here that every student, whether it is bachelor or it is a master's or it is PhD, they have to go through this project.
You know what I mean? It's not peaceful.
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. So everyone have to complete this project in 2 months, and then after that they have to go for their specific subject project, right?
Okay, yes.
Yeah. So yes, Precious, you were explaining the literature review, yeah?
I think she's offline, isn't she?
Yes, I can say that
Oh.
literature. Hello?
Yeah. Say Baraka.
Yes, I was given a certain idea about the literature review. For my side, I can say that it is a collection of ideas that a researcher could collect from journals, books, and also other material research that can bring researcher to find
Your voice is
find
disturbed, Bharat.
data. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, hello.
Yeah, your voice is echoing a little bit. Hello?
Yes, Shipra.
Can
Hello, Shipra.
yeah.
Zoom classes.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Dr. Shipra, I can barely hear you. Your voice is very slow.
Are you able to hear me, Precious?
No, I can't hear you. I'm equally using a earpiece to.
Wait,
I'm
wait.
using my earpiece, hoping that I will hear you equally.
That was me. Yes, I see. After it was like me after.
My volume is full here. Well, there is some issue with my speaker also. Okay.
Okay. You know, it was my problem. I
Yeah,
don't say,
just have a small
what
quick
do I?
review.
Okay. You know, I didn't. Let's just sit down and be happy.
Fine. Yes, now I would like to ask Raymond, will you just have a quick review about this? Raymond?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Shipra. Literature review, according to my understanding,
Yes.
is actually the review of some scholars' articles, journals, I would say, books,
Yes.
and other literature that is in relationship to the area of your study.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I would say it.
Okay. Okay. You
Yes.
are a very small point of the literature review. Anybody else who will tell me about that all a little bit more?
Okay, Mr. Shepherd.
Yes.
Yeah, I think from my understanding, we can also say that literature review also has to do with the discussion of published materials on a particular subject area that you are researching.
Right. Right. 2 points we got. Any other point? Anyone have to contribute in this?
Okay. Can I want to speak, please?
Please, Bakare, you can.
Okay. I think literature review has to do with a list of materials that contribute to a topic of which you are discussing. So it's a whole list of books, publications, journals that has discussed them similar or related topics that will form the theory and the data of a particular research
Okay.
that they are working on.
Okay, fine. Yes, Justice, you were telling something.
Yes, I can add something.
This is Baraka.
Yes, I may add that to write a literature review, a researcher must refer to the recent writers. recent writers, recent researchers who made research about particular things or about particular subject matter in the society.
Very good. Now, okay, fine. The 4 points we have now. Now, yes, Justice, you want to say something?
I wanted to add something small.
Yes.
Actually, as my colleagues just finished with their explanation, we cannot see that literature review are written works, either published or unpublished, that the researcher resort to in his or her study. So literature review, you look at what others have done on your subject area. You can trace it from history, from the past to present, so that it will give you a detailed view of the situation underground and how it will help you in your study. And mostly, the phenomenon or the problem you have identified is good that you deduce it from theory or the concept in the topic or what others have done relating to your topic. So in literature review, you look at it in a broader perspective: theoretical review, conceptual review, and empirical review, so that when you are able to read what the theory says about your work, the concept in your work, and the variables or indicators, then what others have done on your research, it will help you to identify the loopholes or the gaps in others' work, so that you use your study to justify the need why your study is necessary to fill their gap. So mostly we do literature review to fill the gap in literature. Either we are confirming to what others have done, or we are disagreeing to what others have done, or we are bringing in new idea.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Very nice. Clap for you, Baraka. Sorry, Justice.
Thank you.
Yeah, just clap for you. You have explained very well. Then, Yuche, you want to say something in this?
Yes. I just want to add. And literature review is not all about just reviewing any kind of literature, articles or journals or publications, whether published or unpublished. It has to do with also relevance to the topic or subject area that you are working on. Maybe you've identified the problem, so you have to review literatures that are relevant to what the problem that you are trying to address. The loopholes, just like Mr. Justice just said. So you have a keen eye for details. So you have a keen eye for the loopholes, so that when you are reviewing such literatures, you can be able to identify them and then use your study to fill up, just like Mr. Justice said. So that's just what I want to add. Thank you.
Very good describe. Clap for you too. Now I would
Thank you.
like to come on types of literature reviews. So anyone can give me the types here? One is the argumentative review. Second is the integrative review. Precious, can you hear me?
Yes, Shipra, I can hear you clearly. Thank you.
Okay then. Now, the integrative review, the historical review, then the methodological review. So anyone can explain any one from this? Systematic review, theoretical review. So here we have 6 types of reviews. First is the argumentative, second is the integrative, third is the historical, methodological, theoretical review. Now, anyone describe me any review?
what it is that we give away something in the process. It's not a promotion. So,
Yes, you tell.
Okay, all right. I'll just pick one. I'll pick on the methodological review.
Okay.
Yeah, the methodological review has to do with the methodologies used during the review or during the literature or during the write-up of the research project. So not just because something is being said, you take it that way, that is why it's being said. Rather, you check the methodologies, why the researcher has used such kind of methodologies. Why is it relevant he used it? Does it bring out a point, or does it are you in opposition? Because it has to do with you deciding, being a critic. It's either you are for the methodology or you are against the methodology. So when you do such kind of review, it gives you a better understanding why the researcher has used such kind of review. Because when considering it, you are going to know if the review or if the methodology is right or not. So, but before you give such kind of judgments, you have to consider the reviews first, the methodologies first, if it's relevant to the research project that the researcher has already carried and you are trying to review such kind of methodology. So it helps you very well to check. In essence, it makes you understand why the researcher has used such kind of review, whether you are for the review or you are against the review. So that's what the methodological review is all about.
In methodological review, you want to say that researchers have to go through the approaches which they have formed for reviewing the research work, right?
Yes, right, yes.
Yeah. Now, anyone else who can describe me another review here? Justice, can you? I think everyone have forgotten.
Yes, please.
Yes, please. What are you going to tell me?
Yes, the theoretical review. This
Which
is
one?
where the researcher
Which one?
identify theories
Theoretical.
that underpin his or her study.
Okay.
So and it depends on the topic. For example, if I'm taking a topic like how peri-urbanization is affecting livelihood of people. So you look at livelihood theory.
Okay.
If you take a topic like how motivation is affecting job performance, you look at motivation theory, Maslow need of theory. So theories are what underpin your research, what others have done and is accepted, and you think it can be applicable to your work. If it suits the concept and the variables in your work, you can adopt the theory and source. At times, to some of the indicators or the independent variables in the theory may support your work. You can adapt it and also edit it to suit your work. Thank you.
Okay, fine. So in theoretical theory, it is defined as it depends on the different kind of theories which have already occurred with your area of research, right? What are the other theories others have given regarding your research area? Got it? Got it?
Yes, got it,
Yes.
yes. Thank you.
Yes, got it. Got it.
Okay, then we'll move to the thinking about your literature review. So we have done that. Anybody having the critical evaluation of each work should consider. So anyone can have this a short summary of this? Can explain me about this or not? Or should I start? Yes, Precious.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Okay, you want me to explain the critical evaluation of each work?
Yeah, what
You
you
want me
have
to explain
to
provenance?
what you have to consider while literature review, what you have to think about. Okay.
Sorry, I didn't get you.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Okay, what I have to
You have to
yes,
tell
yes.
what is provenance, what is objectivity, what is persuasiveness, and what is value.
Okay. Okay, so I have to explain provenance.
Yes.
Hello.
Yeah,
Okay,
hello, I
let
can hear
me
you.
go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, so provenance from the word prove, it simply talks about before you adopt a particular study or before you adopt a particular work or a researcher's work, you need to prove the author's credentials. You need to look at the author's background, okay? Because if, for instance, let me give this example. If a secondary school student happens to carry out a research that is way above his or her level, you wouldn't want to adopt such literature, because you will have to question the ability, the skills of a secondary school student having what idea that you will have to question the level of knowledge, the ability of the students to be able to carry out successfully a research at that level. Okay, so you need to, before you adopt such literature, you need to prove the author's credentials. Okay, the question is, are the author's arguments supported by evidence? You need to prove the credential. You need to also make pose questions that can prove or that can test the author's credentials and abilities. And then the objectivity. That's the author. You have to also look at the author's perspective. You know, you have to, the angle the author is coming from, does it relate with what you're currently doing? Does the author's perspective is the author's perspective similar to yours? Do you have the same perspective as the author? Is what you should look at. And then persuasiveness. You have to look at the fact that whether the literature whether the author's details have is persuasive enough. From the word persuasiveness, is the work does it sound convincing enough with what you're currently working on? You know, which says persuasiveness is the author's most least convincing. As in, if the author is convincing enough to you before you can adopt such literature or such theory, okay, or such fact. And then again, value. From the word value, the common idea that we have about value, what's the author's argument? How does it, what's the conclusion? How does this literature, what you've reviewed from the literature, how does it, what value does it have? What value will it have to what you're doing, to your area of research? Or if you're trying to fill a gap, like Justice said, you know, what value does it, will this work help you, give you the required value and knowledge that you are looking for, to be able to fill the gap that you want to fill in your own research and all of that. So that's what I have to contribute on the critical evaluation of literature review. Thank you.
Okay, nice. Okay, nice, very good. And everyone, once again, I would like to request you all that all of you just write down your mail and names, mail IDs, names, and your address on this chat, okay?
Ms. Shubha, please kindly come again, please. Hold on.
Yeah, I just want to tell you all that all of you please write your name, your email IDs, and your phone number and address on chat, okay?
Okay, all right.
Okay. So for those who wrote before, are we supposed to write again?
Yeah, write it again. Maybe management was not able to collect it, but you can write it.
Okay. Okay, all right, no problem. Thank you.
Now we'll come to the point here, that is development of the literature review. So how you have to develop your literature review? First of all, you have to consider the four stages which are, that is the problem formulation, second is the literature search, third is the data evaluation and analysis, and then interpretation. So in this, Noora, send your phone number as well as your address also. Now, the problem formulation. Which topic or field is being examined and what are its component issues? So first of all, you have to formulate the problem there. What kind of problem is there in the community? So first of all, for to until unless you will not evaluate with your problem, you will not be able to find your topic. So first you have to find out on the ground. You have to go to the ground. You have to find out whether this problem is there or not, and what are the different kind of issues which are connected with the problem. Okay, got it? Yeah. Then literature search is there. Finding materials relevant to the subject being explored. Whatever the subject, about whatever the problem or subject you are going to explore, you must have to find the materials with related to that. Then data evaluation, determining which literature made a significant contribution to the understanding of the topic. You have to find out the literature work which is really contributing to the work which you are going to do. Right? Got it this point here?
Yes, yes, got it.
Good. Then analysis interpretation. Analysis means once you see or evaluate the data, it is called analysis. And then interpretation, like you have a discussion about the findings and you come to the conclusion about those findings. So these are the four stages under which we develop the literature review. You have to consider these points, okay? Now consider following issues before writing the literature review. So what are the following points here? Clarify. If your assignment is not very specific about what form your literature review should take, seek the clarification from your professor by asking these questions. So once you feel that your assignments and your literature review are not compatible, okay, they are not at the same path, then you can ask these questions to your professor. Like, roughly how many sources should I include in this? Then what type of sources should I review? Whether the books, the journals, the articles, the websites, where we can go. You have to ask these questions to your professor regarding how you can make your literature review with your assignment compatible. Got it? Now, you can ask this third question here, should I summarize, synthesize, or critique your source by discussing a common theme or issue? Should I evaluate the sources? Then should I provide subheadings and other background information such as definitions or history? You have to ask these questions to the professor. Once you find that your literature work is not coming up to the path of your assignment, then you have to find the models, like use the exercise of reviewing literature to examine how authors in your discipline or area of interest have composed their literature reviews. You have to study about this. You have to study different kind of authors literature review and you have to find out how they have gone through their literature review. Mostly you will just consider all those areas which are coming into your interest, which are coming in your research work. Got it here?
Yes, got it, got it.
Got it.
While developing the literature review, you have to keep these points in your mind. Then narrow the topic. How you will narrow the topic? You have to focus on one point. Okay, then you can just simplicize or you can summarize the topic with the relevant sources. You will get the relevant sources, more proofful sources from that literature. Once you focus on one point of your research work, one point means you can take it as you are handling some portion of your research work, your title work, but it is included in your research work also. Getting my point in this or not?
No, I didn't get that. I didn't get
Okay.
that.
Go over it again. I didn't get that.
Okay, I explain you again. When you just limit yourself to see one thing only, okay, as you have a topic of like Precious having a topic of what is your topic, Precious?
Impact of social factors on academic performance of students in Abuja Municipal Area Council.
Okay. Now, your topic is the impact of the social causes on the academics. Whether the area is your defined thing, but your focus should be on which part of the topic, that is the social impact. Okay. So once you can start considering the social impact things, you will get so much of literature about it, how the studies are getting affected nowadays. So you will get to limit yourself, you will make yourself limit towards the one focus point, that is the impact of the social impact on the academics. Okay. So like this, once you keep on searching different kind of literature reviews, you will get some to the point things there. You will get relevant sources there, and different and many sources would be there. Getting this point?
Yes. I got that.
Yes.
Here they want that you should focus on one practical problem there in your topic. Got it?
Yes, got it.
Yes, got it.
Good. Everyone else? Anyone else who's having doubt in this? Well, Musa Mashamba, are you listening me? You are from yesterday orientation, right? Okay, well. Now I will come to the next point, that is the consider whether your sources are current. Okay. So some disciplines require that you use information that is as current as possible. Here the current means it should be very new. It should be very new to new. Means it should not be so old information that you can't make it with your assignment. You can't make it compatible with your assignment. Right? So this is very common in sciences where research conducted only 2 years ago could be obsolete. However, when writing a review in the social sciences, a survey of the history of the literature may be what is needed, because what is important is how perspectives have changed over the years or within a certain time period. So as soon as the things get changed, we have to uh, take the opportunity to take the information and include it in our assignment literature review. Okay, we have to be
Oh,
up. Got it?
yes, got it, got it. Thank you.
Fine. Precious, did you?
Yes, got it, got it.
Okay. Nora, are you able to understand this? Nora, are you able to understand this?
It seems she's off.
I doubt she's online. I doubt Nora is online.
Well, it's shown its mic is mute. Okay, well. Now let's go to the third topic here in literature view is ways to organize your literature view. How you can organize it. So first of all, you have to see the chronological of events. Now, if your review follows the chronological method, you could write about the materials according to when they are published. This approach should only be followed if a clear path of research building on previous research can be identified, and these trends follow a clear chronological order of development. Now, here in this chronological of events, what do you understand by the chronology? Will anybody tell me what is the chronology?
Hello, Mr. Brad.
Your mic is echoing a lot.
Sorry. Yes, I think chronology
Yeah.
would mean
Again, it is echoing.
I think it will mean following a certain order,
Hardly
like
anyone can hear you.
going from one day to another in a particular order or in a very orderly manner.
Musa, I'm not getting you. Yes, Yuchi.
Yes, to my own understanding, chronology is like following a pattern
Yes.
sequentially. So, for example, maybe you are taking a review, so you have to follow the pattern as it is, and then consider which pattern. Maybe something like it takes like a literature that's maybe 1938 is 1939, 1940. So as it continues like that, other researchers are writing on it. So it's a continuous process. So you have to follow the pattern sequentially while writing or a review or checking the review. So I think that's what chronology means, what
Yes.
I understand.
Chronology is about the step-by-step events which we going to tell. Okay. Now cyclonic things are coming to my way. Okay. Now the by here in this chronological events, we have to write down all the events. Events means the publishing papers in the way that when they have published before, and then we have to put them in their step one, step two way. Okay, one by one from their starting of their publishing. Now, by publication, order your sources by publication chronology, then only if the order demonstrates a more important trend. For instance, you could order a review of literature on environmental studies of brownfields if the progression revealed, for example, a change in the soil collection practices of the researchers who wrote and conducted the studies. So you have to see the publications, how they have in chronologically they have published these things. Okay, your research work, whatever the area you are choosing to work, you have to find out the other published work regarding that area, and you will see how they are going on. Okay, how they have published from starting. Got this?
Yes, yes, got it. Thank you.
Yes, yes.
Wait a minute, everyone. Just wait a minute. Yes. Now, thematic, the conceptual categories. Thematic reviews of literature are organized around the topic or issue rather than the progression of time. So, in this, thematic reviews are such kind of reviews regarding the topic which are organized around the topic. Around the topic means it will just uh, see what is happening around your topic area. Topic area means your community in which you are researching. It will see that topic, that means that problem, and it will organize around that problem only. You will see those factors near your problem area. It will not see how the progression is going on. It will only focus on the surrounding parts of your problem. Got it?
You repeat that, Madam Shipra.
Okay. Here I have to repeat this, that in thematic reviews in literature are those reviews which mostly focus on the not the progress, which not only focus on the progression of the problem, but they focus only around what is going on the problem about which you are researching. Got it?
Okay, okay,
Yes,
got it.
got it.
Yes.
Suppose, for example, the topic of Precious is that the social impact on the academics. So once we find the problem of the social impact, it will only consider the problems which are surrounding the social impact, not the social impact is going on, how the social impact is progressing. It will not consider that. It will consider that what other problems are around the social impact. Got it?
Yes, got
Yes,
it, got it. Thank you.
I got it.
Yeah, Raymond.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Okay, fine then. If you got it, it's very nice. Otherwise, let me know again. I'll try to again explain you. Got it here?
Yes, it's
Yes,
clear.
got it.
yes, it's clear. Got it.
Thank you then. Fine. Now the methodological category will come here. A methodological approach focuses on the methods utilized by the researcher. For the Internet in American Presidential Politics Project, one methodological approach would be to look at cultural differences between the portrayal of American presidents on American, British, and French websites. So here it is just telling you that you have to focus on the approach, what kind of approach you are taking. Approach means what kind of methods you are including in your research, right? Which will influence the types of documents which you will make in your review and the way in which these documents are discussed. It will consider those discussions. It will influence that. Got it?
Yes,
Yes.
got it, got it.
Yes, got
Yes.
it.
So considering the method is very influential part for your writing. Other sections of your literature review will be like the current situation, history, selection methods. These are the criteria which you are using in your other parts of the literature review while writing the literature review. Once you have had decided on the organizational method for your literature review, the sections you need to include in paper should be easy to figure out because they arise from your organizational strategy. So whatever the sections you include in your literature writing, they should be simple and should be easy to understand so that everyone can understand those things. Got it here?
Yes,
Yes,
got
got
it.
it. Got it.
Thank you.
Other sections which we can include in that literature review are the current situations, which I have told you that the information necessary to understand the topic or focus of the literature review should be current. Okay, then history part of the literature, which you all of you have to read it out. Then the selection methods, which you what kind of methods you will use in this to select the sources at all. Then standards, the way in which you present your information, how you are going to present your information, that is also depends. Then questions for further research. What questions about the field has the reviewer sparked? So what kind of questions will be raised after your presentation? You have also think about those things. Okay. How will you further your research as a result of the review? How you can project your result as of your research as a result of your review. In review, you have to write down your result in the end, right?
Yes, right.
Yes.
Yes,
So
right.
how it will look alike, how your research will look alike to others, that question will be raised there. So you have to present it in such a manner that your result should be either in positive or in negative. But how the negative can be changes into positive, you have to include that also. Right?
Right.
Yes, yes.
Right.
Now here we will discuss the fourth point, that is writing your literature review. In this, once you have settled on how to organize your literature review, you are ready to write each section then. So first of all, you will use the evidences. You should have your evidences with you. A literature review in this sense is just like any other academic research paper. Your interpretation of the available sources must be backed up with evidence to show that what you are saying invalid. So you have some evidences with you to show that your paper is valid. You have proof, you have evidence regarding whatever you are keeping in that. Then be selective. Select only the most important points in each source to highlight in the review. You don't have to describe in the review, you have only to highlight the things. In your introduction part also, in your theoretical summary also, and in your literature review also, you have to highlight the points. Got it?
Yes, got it
Yeah,
clearly.
I
Yes.
got
Got
it.
Now use quotes sparingly. So here some short quotes are okay if you want to emphasize a point or if what the author said just cannot be rewritten in your own words. Sometimes you may need to quote certain terms that were coined by the author, not common knowledge or taken directly from the study. Do not use extensive quotes as a substitute your own summary and interpretation of the literature. So here it is telling that don't copy the quotes from anywhere else unless you can't write it. Okay? If you can't write it, just summarize the things in your own words. Okay?
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Now the summarize and the synthesis. Remember to summarize and synthesize your sources within each paragraph as well as throughout the review. Once you are writing your paragraphs, you have to summarize and synthesize your sources there. Okay? So forget that. Then recapitulate the important features of a research study and re-synthesize it. Then third point is keep your own voice. Keep your own voice means keep your own ideas. Keep your own written material. Keep writing your own views. There they want your views, not anyone else's views. Otherwise, it will merge into the copying. Plagiarism will come in that. Got it here?
Yes,
Ms.
got
Shipra,
it.
can you please take it again?
Yeah.
Hello, Ms. Shipra. Can you please take it again because I didn't get it that clear.
Okay. Here I just telling that in this point that is keep your own voice means you have to put your own ideas. Okay. Your own views. Don't try to take any other's views and write it down in your, that will goes to the plagiarism. Copying of others views is a offense also, as well as the others will not recommend your literature review then. Got it?
Yeah, I got it now. Thank you very much.
Yes,
Yeah.
got it.
Okay. Then use caution when paraphrasing. When paraphrasing a source that is not your own, be sure to represent the author's information or opinions accurately and in your own words. Again, the same thing is there. Once you are paraphrasing, what is the paraphrasing? Can anybody tell me?
Paraphrasing Shipra is to say the same thing but in a different way.
Okay, right.
Something like to simplify.
Have a listen about phrases.
Yeah, I think paraphrasing is just presenting somebody's ways in your own ways.
Yeah, if to say something, we use some other way to explain those things, right? Right?
Yeah.
Similarly, once we are writing any paragraph, we are using some other kind of ways to demonstrate our views. Okay. So in this, they are telling if you don't have any information, you can take the information from others, but in your own words. Don't try to take others as copying it. Okay. The same thing which I was telling you in the keep your own voice, it is same here, but it is in the form of paragraph. Whatever you are writing in paragraphs, it should be clearly in your own words. Got it?
Okay.
Yes,
Got it, got it.
Now we'll come to the last point here. That is, what are the common mistakes you all of you do? Wait a minute. Now the common mistakes we should avoid here. The sources in your literature review do not clearly relate to the research problem, right? Everyone?
Yes,
Yes.
right.
Yes.
You do not take sufficient time to define and identify the most relevant sources to use in the literature review related to the research problem. Got it? These are the
Yes,
Yes.
got
Yes.
it.
these are the mistakes, okay? What we do. We think that we don't have time much to identify or define the problem here. We sometimes think that relies exclusively on secondary analytical sources rather than including relevant primary research studies. Primary research studies, that means you are the sources for that. Okay, you are the sources for your data. So you just neglect and you depends on the secondary analytical sources. Then critically accepts another researcher's findings and interpretations as valid. Most of the time you think that what others have done, what others have did in their findings, they are valid. Don't think so. Go on your own way. You have to interpret yourself, not others. Try to prove yourself valid. Whatever the points, whatever the findings you are keeping there, you should have the evidence with you. Got it?
Yes, got it.
Yes, got it.
Yes, Shipra.
Got it.
Right. Then does not describe the search procedures that were used in the literature review. Don't try to discover them, just highlight the things. That is the methods which you have used. Don't try to explain them. Just depict that you have used this procedure in your literature review. Okay? Reports isolated statistical results rather than synthesizing them in chi-squared or the meta-analytic methods. Always try to give in a statistical way. Right?
Yes, please.
Yes, yes, yes.
Then whatever the data or findings you have, try to present them in the form of statistics. The last point is only include research that validates assumptions and does not consider contrary findings and alternative interpretations found in the literature. Don't always include only the assumptions which are really validated. You can consider others also and prove that they are wrong and you are right. Getting my point here?
Yes, got it.
Have a contrary findings. Until and unless you will not present the negative, how you can present your positive? So for that, you have to consider the other findings also and alternative interpretations found in in the other literatures. You have to present them also. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Now, any questions here?
Miss Shipra, I have a question.
Yes, Precious.
Okay, where this point that says does not describe the search procedures that were used in the literature review. Could you throw more light on what are those examples of search procedures that one can use in literature review, please?
Okay, you want the examples for that?
Yes, yes, this examples of search procedures, kind of search procedures that one can use.
Search procedures means whatever you are going to find out. See your topic only. In that you are just seeking what is the social impact on the academics, right?
Yes, right.
So in that, once you go for your search to the other social places, like other organizations, and you will search out how they are applying the policies to the academics, how they are, whether the policies are coming to the academics or not. So such kind of procedures of searching, you are not going to depict in that. You are not going to describe on
Okay.
it. Okay.
Okay.
Your way of searching the things within your topic, you are not going to describe those things, because once you go for your searching procedures, you will take some evidences also.
Yes.
Yes. And for those evidences, sometimes they are so much important that others don't want that they should get leaked. So you,
Okay. Okay.
so you are not supposed to tell everyone that I have done this, I have done this. Okay?
Okay. Noted.
Yes. Just point out that I have got this evidence from this place and this on this date. Bas. That's all. Don't try
Okay.
to explain things.
Okay. Noted. Noted.
Yes. Any other question? Raymond, Yuche, Oine, are you
Yes,
satisfied?
yes. I think point number 3
Where?
relies exclusively
Oh,
on relevant analytical sources rather than including relevant primary research study or data.
yeah,
Now, my question is, let's take it that we are preparing our proposal
yeah,
before we get to the report.
yes.
How then are we going to include primary research studies that we can include in that report, in that proposal? I mean,
What do you understand by the primary research studies here? All
uh,
in,
what I understand by primary research studies are that this is the data that I will have found out, that I will have found myself as a researcher.
yes, right.
Yes.
And what is your question here?
My question is, I'm preparing a proposal. So how do
Okay.
I include this kind of information
Yes,
in my literature review?
yes, that is the point here. Here we are
Okay.
telling that these are the mistakes. Most of the time, students, what they do, they give preference to the secondary analytical sources rather than their own sources. Getting my point? You have to include your sources here, your data, your studies.
And then, if that's the case, then this should be applicable to project, not research. Then, not. Hello, May Shipra.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, so if that's the case, then we should be talking about the main project itself now, literature review for the main project itself, not the research proposal. Going by your point.
Yeah. Here,
Okay.
no, no, wait a minute. I'm going to tell you. Here, whatever the literature review we are writing, it is for our main project only. Okay?
Okay, noted.
Yes. So whatever we are including in our literature review, whatever the data we are including in that, it should be of our source only. It should be relevant to our source only. You not should consider the secondary sources. Okay?
Okay, okay, noted.
That is
Okay,
what
I
I'm
get you.
trying to recommend, that you have to use your own data, you have to use your own sources. Most of the students do this mistake that they give preference to secondary data, which they are getting from others. Sometimes it is relevant or not. But whatever you have, whatever the data you have collected, you know that it is relevant because you have evidence about that.
Okay, so in that case,
Yes.
okay, in that case, what that means that we're supposed to have literature review on in our research proposal, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Right.
so if we are supposed to have literature review in our research proposal, then what that means is that at this point it leaves us with we are the mercy of secondary data, because at this point at the level of research proposal we have not even carried out the research yet to know what is valid or what is not valid. For instance, like in my case, where I'm looking at social factors on the academic performance, if
Right.
I need to carry out the research to be able to know whether social factors affect academic performance or not. So if I am writing research proposal,
Yes.
review for research proposal, at this point, I think I'll make use of more of secondary data than
Early
primary data.
data. Exactly. That's the same thing. We are at the mercy of it, Ms. Shipra. Absolutely. Because we've not gone outside to conduct any findings or collect any data. So most of the time, secondary data is supposed to be used. I don't know.
Yes. You are not going to believe on secondary data more than yourself.
I mean, you are not. You are. I don't know if you are getting the point. Since the literature review is going to be included in the proposal, we've not done any findings. We've not gone out to field.
Whatever. See, when you are going for the research proposal, in have you seen the abstract also having the same point there?
Pardon?
Madam Shipra,
Yes.
Madam Shipra,
Yes. Yes.
let's take it this way.
Yeah.
We are all at proposal level.
Hmm.
We are at proposal level now.
Yeah.
The thing is, in our proposal, literature review will have to be banked on other people's literature, information, journals, articles, books that
Okay.
they've written, which relates to our topic of study.
Yes.
Now, if we are to use this point number 3,
Yeah.
including relevant primary research data. Primary research data is data that I have to collect myself as
Yeah.
a researcher of that proposal. Now I'm at proposal level. I haven't done the data collection yet. I haven't analyzed any information. What kind of information will I include in order for that literature review to be sound, basing on the on this question or statement number 3, bullet number 3?
Okay. Well, your question is mm, either I am not getting your question or you are not understanding my point here. Anything two is happening here.
My understanding is this. Point number 3 says, okay, the topic here is these are the most common mistakes made in reviewing social science research literature. Now,
Yes.
bullet number 3. The
Hmm.
mistake is that we rely exclusively on secondary analytical sources rather than including relevant primary research study or data. Now, we are at proposal level. This is a mistake, yes, we understand that we rely much on secondary data unlike primary data. But now we're at proposal level. Where do we get the primary data that we need to incorporate in our review? That's a question. That's where now I'm getting confused. Like, how do we do this thing?
Okay, okay, fine. Noted.
You've understood now?
Yeah, yes. See, as here it is written that it is a mistake that most of the time students collect exclusively depends on the secondary analytical sources rather than their relevant primary sources. But you want to ask, once you are writing your literature review for proposal, if you have not done the relevant, not done any data collection or any sources you have, how you can write on that, right?
Yes, yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes, yes, yes.
Okay, then I will answer you this in the next class. It is a nice question. Okay, let me find it out also.
Okay, okay,
Okay,
okay.
all
Thank
right.
you very much.
Okay. I will answer
Thank you
you.
very much.
Okay.
Thank you
Yes.
very much.
Thank you. Now, all of you, I would like to. Yes,
Hello.
I want to say.
Yes, I
Miss
wanted
Miss
to.
Shipra.
Hello.
Wait a minute,
Hello.
Precious. Let him.
Hello.
Yes,
Yeah,
just.
we can hear you, Justice. Mr. Justice, we can hear
Okay.
you. Go on.
I wanted to add something.
Your
You see what
is going justice.
Mrs. Shipra is presenting literature review for both the proposal and the project.
Hello, Justice. Your voice is echoing. Justice, your voice is echoing. What happened to his mic? I think. Okay, Precious, what you want to say?
Miss Shipra, okay, I was saying what I want to say is I want to make an appeal.
Yes.
That yes, that this week Friday we were supposed to begin to present 5th of June was supposed to be a day where we are to present our proposal and talk about it.
Yes.
So my appeal is so that to avoid unnecessary
Your voice also get disturbed. Okay, write in chat. Precious, I'm not getting you. Write in chat.
writing rubbish. I believe that what is worth doing is that if it will be possible for the manager. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, I'm asking, will it be possible for the management to give us at least additional 1 week for us to take the time to do a proper research and submit?
Okay, I'll talk to the management.
All right, thank you, Ms. Shipra. I'm really grateful.
Okay, not a problem.
They've not
Okay.
agreed yet. They've not agreed yet. They're saying thank
No, thank you in advance. You see now, we all need this time. It looks like I'm the only one who needs it. Justice, Uche, Raymond, I hope I'm speaking your mind.
My dear, I haven't even submitted my proposal.
Have you submitted?
I haven't submitted. So Friday for me is to hear from you talk.
Well, the management is telling you.
So I feel
Okay.
next week Friday can be more ideal because when we submit it takes time again for them to respond.
Hello, everyone. The management is telling that you have
Yes.
only those students can register who are prepared, okay? With your presentation, right?
Okay.
And yes,
Okay.
Richard and Baraka, have you given your email IDs on chat?
Yes, I have.
I have a question.
Yes, Nora.
Who has started working on the project?
What?
Anyone who has started working on the project, maybe they can give some insight and things like that. Because some of us, we haven't even started working on it.
Okay.
I I think Natasha is more open on this.
Who?
Natasha, is it Natasha? The
No, Natasha is there. Nabasi is there. That is teachers.
the other lady that was talking about collecting secondary data.
Yes, Precious.
Precious.
Oh yeah, Precious.
Yes, yeah, Precious, I'm here.
Precious, hi.
Hi, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. Ma'am, with your permission, can I please ask Precious for some, maybe you can give me your WhatsApp number?
All right, I'll drop it now on the chat so that you can contact me. We'll discuss the proposal.
Oh yes, because I'm very far from starting actually. So I
Okay.
need maybe someone to help and yeah, just for
All right,
guidance.
no problem. I'll drop my number with you, my WhatsApp number, so you can reach out to me anytime.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, now everyone, I would like to share one more thing with you all. All of you have got your timetable?
Yes.
Are
Yes.
you understanding
I didn't get that, please. I didn't
The
hear that, please.
timetables were sent.
it? Have you gone to your student account, Precious?
Hello, Miss Shipra, please, what did you say?
I'm saying, did you get your timetable?
Hello, Miss Shipra.
Yes. Timetables were sent actually.
Yes.
The timetables were sent.
It's on
Okay, yeah.
WhatsApp group, so everyone can
Yes.
So, are you all understanding it?
Some of us have understood it, but it takes one to read the instructions that are down there for one to get to understand what is on the table.
Now, all of you can see the timetable here?
Yes.
Yeah. So, all of you here, all the master students classes will be on Tuesday, Thursday, okay? And those who are working, they miss their classes in between of the weeks, or they are not able to attend the classes, so they can attend their classes on Saturday. That is a quick review of whole week will be there. Got it?
Yes.
Yes, that's good. Yeah.
Now, all of you can see that the master's PhD collaborative classes is written, master's and PhD progressive classes are written, right? And
Yes,
master's
Yes.
please.
Yes.
PhD flexible classes are written here. So from 3 to 4 p.m., only those students who have orientation on 25th, they can join here from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. And those who had their orientation on 18th of May, they can join in the time slot of 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. of India time. Got it my point?
Which is this time now, is it?
That is which is in which you are attending it.
Yes, I'm saying this same class you're talking about is this one currently, and the one we
Yes,
are currently undertaking.
Got it?
yes, Prof.
Okay.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay. And collaborative class is those who have attended their orientation on 25th. Okay. Because most of the time it's happening, other session students come in other sessions, they are attending each and every class without knowing what is teaching here, what is there, what they have to learn and what they have not to learn, right?
Yes, please.
So I just want to explain you all this. So your class timings will be 5:30 to 6:30, and your days will be Tuesday and Thursday. Okay?
Okay. Yes, please.
Everyone got it?
No, Miss Shipra, I'm a bachelor student, so my class falls on Monday,
Will be on
Thursdays, and
Wednesday and Friday. No, Friday not. On Wednesday. On Friday there will be the bachelor's group discussion will be there. Okay?
What I'm saying is that for now, I don't think anybody. I was partnering with Logan, Mr. Logan, but I don't think he's coming up. So I'm the only bachelor student now. I can see that.
So we will
I
have a
says more.
not on session. Okay?
Pardon? I didn't get that.
So we will have a group discussion with you. Okay?
Only me?
Yes, only with
With
you.
your class, my brother.
Yes, I'm the only one. Prof, you don't understand. I'm the only one in the class now.
Not an issue
Let me
because
join you.
That's what I'm saying.
the
I'm
recording
the
can
only one in the class.
students then. Okay?
Miss Shipra, you were saying? I didn't get you.
I'm telling that if I will having a class with you, the recording also will be there. Okay? So we can circulate the
Okay,
recording
okay,
also to the account, student account, and they can access from there also.
okay. So I will not be joining the masters and PhD students any longer. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you can join anywhere. Yeah, I am not stopping you from joining it. Okay?
Okay,
Because right now your course and the 25th May courses are coming in parallel. Okay?
okay. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I will still join the regular classes just to pass the course for now.
Okay.
Thank
That
you.
on us, if anybody is in your contact, you can contact them to come and join the class. Okay?
Okay, okay.
Their issue whether they want to join or not. And the recording will go to them in their student account. They can access from there also. Right?
Yes, yes, right.
Okay. Any other question here? Okay. Thank you, all of you then. We'll meet you
Yeah,
all.
thank you very much. Yes.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you.
Shipra.
Merci, merci beaucoup.
Thank you. We'll meet you on Thursday.
I will answer your question then. Stay safe, all of you. Bye.
And you too, stay safe.
Bye bye. Stay safe. Bye.